Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast. Elliot Short Parks, James Seltzer with you. And if you follow him on Twitter, you saw it. If you listen to this pod at all, you know it. Today, the best day of the year. As far as I think he goes a little far with it.
The best day of the year.
Pretty damn good day.
It's the best time of the year. It just is. It just is. It just is. It just is. Let me say this, okay? Just so we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah.
What else?
This is not a beat around the bush kind of day.
It's not, but let me just say this quickly. Obviously, we talk every day, but good to be back, man.
I know.
I was on vacation, you were on vacation, so we've had pods in the feed, but me and you have not recorded for a little while. So good to see your face. Good to talk Eagles with you.
It's so true. I missed you, even though I saw you.
Yeah,
I missed
we talk every day, but regardless,
in this format.
Yes.
And just so everyone listening knows, we're back, back,
ready to go,
back, through the daily pods of the playoffs. We are not going anywhere. There's no more vacations. There's no more breaks. There's no more nothing. We're here. Plus Friday, we got a special show for you.
I've got a special guest.
Brandon Lee Gouton in the house on Friday.
Yes.
Start the season right. We are going to bring it. We're so ready. Also, really quick before we dive in.
Maybe not really quick. This deserves
This is classic us. We're not going to beat around the bush. Then we'll spend 5 minutes beating around the bush.
Yes.
I don't think this is beating around the bush when I say from the bottom of our hearts, from Elliot, from me, from Tucker, thank you to the people who filled out the survey. It was so helpful. It was so kind of everyone to fill out. By the way, the Go Birds t-shirts are freaking awesome. I got mine. I can't wait to wear it. Shout out.
It's a sick color too.
It's cool. It's got our freaking logo. It doesn't just say Go Birds. It's our Go Birds, which is special and cool.
Yeah.
So just to everyone who actually took time to fill that out, and there were honestly more than I expected. We got way more responses than I expected. I'm just, I'm super grateful. Elliot and I, this is our favorite thing to do. To Elliot's point at the beginning, we talk to each other every day, but this is when we talk to each other. This is our time together, and we love to share it with you guys. I even was talking to Mike in New York today, called in the show, and he was telling me how he was, him and Drew from Westchester might go to a Yankees game together. If it feels better. Awesome. And he's like, man, this Go Birds thing that you created is so special. And we always say it is our favorite part about this podcast is the community that is formed around it. And the amount of people that took the time to fill out the survey are such a perfect example of that. Yeah. And we just love you guys. Thank you so much.
And I echo everything you said. I'll be honest in saying too, it was nice to read nice things. My
heart is flying.
Yeah. I joked to Kristen, I'm going to print out everything everybody said and hang it in my Eagles locker so I can remember, right? That people enjoy the pod. But no, thank you so much. And to your point, and actually I'll tie this all together. Look at me learning from you and being a professional. Ready? So training camp being back was freaking unbelievable. But one of the reasons it was awesome to be back today, this year especially, more than other years, is because you're just reminded of all the joy the Eagles brought us last September through February and March and April, right? And part of that is because of the listeners and because of all the friends we've made on the pod and all the trip to Baltimore and being down in the Super Bowl and seeing people and the group chats and everything. So to everyone that did the survey, thank you so much. But to why this is my favorite time of the year is because it's a reminder and a reintroduction into our life of our favorite thing. And the one thing we all have in common, we might not agree on everything, but the one thing we all have in common is we are all obsessed with the Eagles. We think about it 24/7. And so to be there down at the NovaCare today and to see them all back and to see all the beat writers that are my friends and I had some people that were Go Birds listeners there. It's so fun to have it back. The off season's awesome and everything, but my favorite thing to do is talk about the Eagles. And now's the beginning of doing it all the time. And to all the listeners, thank you for allowing us to do it, but thank you for partaking in it. I'm excited to talk to you all about everything that happened today.
Yeah, we're champs. Let's never forget that. Of right now, we are the champs. The Philadelphia Eagles are the champs. We are championship fans. This is a championship podcast. You're damn right, buddy. And to your point, I woke up on Monday this week feeling different. I had to go back. I was on vacation. I said this to Emily, and I was so weird because it's normally around this time, but because of the Eagles and because of it's the reigning champs, the whole thing, I normally on the Saturday, Sunday after a week off, you get that kind of melancholy of, right?
Yeah, the Sunday scares.
We're so lucky. I love my job. I'm never upset to go in the morning, whatever. But I just spent the week with my wife and my daughter. We had so much fun on that. I didn't have that this time. Honestly, I kept saying to Emily on Saturday before I came back, I'm like, I can't wait to talk birds. I can't wait for this team to take the field. Like, I can't wait to watch these guys. I can't wait for Sundays to be a day I look forward to again. Like, I'm so freaking pumped. And look, and let's just dive in right here, and then we'll get to all the stuff on the field today, because happy place. Happy place. But, and we've talked about this in the morning show, but I just think it's a stone cold fact. I don't think there's any way, and look, I'm sure there have been other seasons for other people. Joe says in 2004 he was more confident, but this is, without a doubt, in the history of the franchise, the best this team has ever been set up to be one of the great teams of all time. To like the dynasty thing, we talk about it so much on the radio for years. We talk we could be a dynasty. Even when we hadn't even won one, that 2004, this could turn into it. Like, we always want that. We've always wanted it. It's right in front of us, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's super hard, all that. But, like, this team, this group, especially with Jeffrey, Howie, Nick, and Jalen as, like, the top of the mountain, the Mount Rushmore right now of this team, like, I don't think you'd have four people who are more pointed in the same direction, driven for the same thing, not going to give up, want to be great. Like, we are really lucky, right? This is high times for Eagles.
A bunch of stuff off of that. One, the 2004 versus now is an interesting thing. We can do this another day because I think it's super interesting. I would actually maybe agree with Joe and say 2004, I was positive they were going to the Super Bowl. This team is capable of doing it, but it's just so hard to repeat that, there's all those things. But the other thing too, from being down there today, is you talk about how aligned the team is. And every player that steps to the podium says the exact same thing. It is 2024 was last year. We're focused. And I'm sure every team that goes to Super Bowl says these things. I get that. But what really stands out is the use of similar words and similar phrases. And we've talked about this on the pod, how you can tell, we talk about Jalen's leadership a lot, but you can tell Jalen is impactful as a leader when you hear players on the team say the things he says. And you can tell they respect Nick Sirianni when they say the things he says. And when, today at the podium, Nick talked before practice with Howie, but then after practice, AJ, Saquon, Mailata, Lane Johnson, Jalen talked, and then Devontae and Bond did as well. I wasn't able to be at them. But when each of those players go up and talk, and they're saying that they're phrasing it the same way, which is, we're not using the word repeat. We're not using the word defending. Jordan Mailata went on not a rant, but a long soliloquy about how he does not view it as defending. He views it as two separate years. He even said, the teams that get a Super Bowl hangover are because they focus on defending, and I don't want to be hungover, which, good line by him. I do wonder if anyone's ever said that, because that's super creative and obvious if no one's ever done it, but it makes a ton of sense. But yeah, just again, being down there, like, even what I just said, think about the star power this team has. Like, I was in press conference. There's been years I've been in press conferences, and it's been Sam Bradford, Jalen Reagor, like guys that it's like, yeah, they're important and we talk about them. But the players, it was like Pro Bowler, Pro Bowler, Pro Bowler, Pro Bowler, Pro Bowler. Like they're stacked. And, we'll get into the nuance, the kind of details of practice today. But yeah, they're an extremely good roster, all pointed in the same direction. So to your point, 2004, we can debate and all that, but there's not been many times the team has been in a golden era the way it is right now.
None. There's never been, we can debate whether they were more set up, whether you had more confidence in them in 2004 or this year to win the Super Bowl. That's a debatable topic. It is not a debatable topic what the best era of Eagles football is. It's right now. We are in it. It is inarguable. It's literally inarguable. They've won 2 Super Bowls in 7 years. They've been to the 2 Super Bowls in 3 years for the first time ever, and they're set up in a great spot moving forward. They're a young team. Like, it is inarguable. This is till now the golden era of Eagles football that we are smack right in the middle of right now. And the chance for them to do more is so thrilling and so exciting. And I do think the fact that in 22 they went and lost it, and I know 23 was what it was, but I think that experience of going to the Super Bowl and knowing what it takes to play till February, to have to turn it back around, to ratchet it back up that quickly and have a shorter offseason and all that, I think just doing that once will help a lot of these guys this time around.
Yeah.
Let's get onto the field, because obviously we got a lot to get to. Let's start with a combo on the field, off the field thing, though, because look, especially early on, especially, with the training camp stats, which, copyright Elliott Shore Park, now that everyone in the world is doing it. But we start with Jalen usually.
Yes.
That's where we start, and I think today is a perfect day to start with Jalen. Both on the field, we'll get to in a sec, but I want to start off the field. I want to start with the ring thing.
All right, dude, let me tell you.
I think this is about the most fascinating little subplot going on. And it's perfect. It's so on brand.
Inside the dugout, me and James have not talked over the past few hours, right? So I don't.
And not just that, I was napping. I have no idea what happened. I've seen no press conference of I'm actually coming in completely cold. So I have no idea about that.
Normally, I think I have a pretty good read on where your take is going to be on this, but I don't know where it's going to be. So set it up and we'll get into it. And I'll be curious to see if we agree or disagree or not.
So everyone was wondering, coming off the ring ceremony, and everyone's putting out pictures and videos and all that. Did Jalen put the ring on? Is Jalen going to wear the ring? What does Jalen even think about the ring, about the championship? I saw a hilarious tweet, and I wish I could remember who it was. But when it first started, someone was like, "Come on, man. He put that ring in a sock in his drawer, shoved it in, and said quietly to himself, job's not done yet." And it's like,
well, it sounds like that's what happened.
I know.
Yeah.
So what happened? So take us inside. He got asked about it. Tell us about the whole thing.
Yeah, so he got asked about it and basically said, I'm paraphrasing, but basically he's moving on to next year. And he didn't outright say he's not put the ring on, but it's pretty clear he has not put the ring on.
So it's just human nature, and I get it, but I get just put the ring away. Like Kelsey talked about, I put away and lost
Kelsey
it.
Lost it,
So ring, but when you first get it, who doesn't take it and put it on once and just look at their hand and be like, wow, it's a Super Bowl ring on my hand,
dude. All right, so he also kind of said he basically didn't want to talk about it. Also, he was asked a second question. It was kind of like, I am moving on from this. Okay, so here's my thought on it. Prior to finding out this is actually what he did, my thought was, bro, come on, man. You're at the Super Bowl ring party. You are around all your teammates. All the pictures of Devontae, Saquon, and AJ together with their rings on. The pictures of, all of them with their rings on. He was kind of left out of all of that, right? And I also think, I'm going to full circle this, but it's kind of like when people joke about people that are vegans or vegetarians, and it's like, how do you know if someone's a vegan? It's because they'll tell you. It's like
that's a great line. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
that is phenomenal.
So I didn't come up with it. But the point I'm making is, if you want to not wear your ring, then all right, fine, man, don't wear your ring. But to be at a Super Bowl party where the entire purpose of the night is to wear the ring and to walk around and being, I don't know for a fact he said this, but I'm sure someone was like, yo, man, you putting your ring on? And to be the one that's like, I'm not putting mine on because I'm moving forward, but you can all put yours on. I'm just focused on 2025. I just think it's a bit annoying. I don't know how else to say it. I think if put it this way. Let's say if we had a WIP ring and someone at our office didn't put it on, and me and you did, we would for sure be texting that night being like, yo, this guy, come on, I'll put the ring on. So that's my initial thought on it. But I also think that there is this reality is when you're the Super Bowl MVP, you're a little above questioning in the way that Jalen is more successful at 26 than 99% of the population will be in their lifetime. Jalen has been told to do something a certain way for a long time and has not really conformed to that. He's never changed who he is at the podium. He has never changed his playing style much, right? And he sits there at this camp talking about the ring because he has a ring. So while I do think there are some real, come on, man, put the ring on, have fun with your teammates, be one of the guys, go take a picture with Saquon and Devontae. I think there's an important part of that. That's also, hey, man, if you're going to win the Super Bowl, I guess you get to decide. And other great athletes have had weird quirks like this. And Jalen is on such a different level with who he is as a quarterback. And he's just different than his teammates that I guess it is what it is.
So I have a very strong opinion on this. Would you like to guess, not knowing whether I hate it or love it? Because it's one of those two. I'm
going to guess you love it.
I love it. I love it, dude. Are you kidding? I get your point. Who are you talking to? You're talking to someone who would still be wearing, who hadn't taken his ring off. If I were that, I would have worn my ring until camp started. I'd be like, okay, I get we're doing this. It's this year thing. I'm wearing it till the last possible second. I'm wearing it out. I'm showing it to everyone. That's me, bro. this guy is just different. Like, he
Yeah.
is a different human being. He is different in the way he goes about his business. And honestly, like, I would have thought it was weird if he put it on. Like, I expected this from Jalen. When I joked about that tweet, it's because I read it and said, yeah, that's the Jalen I would expect. I would have expected him to take it, put it in a little sock drawer in his ring and be like, job's not done. That's what I would expect. And you know what? That's why he's going to be great. Yeah. That's why he's going to win more Super Bowls, because this guy is so driven and so focused. And normal people like you and me look at this and be like, dude, like, have some fun with your buddies. What are you doing? But he's not normal. He's crazy about football. I bring it up all the time because it hits me so hard. When we had Greg Bishop on the morning show, the guy who did he's like, I did them for all of them. He's like, I did the profile on Manning, on Rodgers, on this. He went through like 10 all-time quarterbacks that he profiled, and he said I did way more. And the only two ever admitted to being defined by football were Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts. Like, this is this guy, and he is motivated by things. He motivates himself. He finds ways to create chips on his shoulder, to create motivation. And I truly think that if that guy put that ring on, I think it might have taken something away from the fire that burns within him. Like, he has to do it the way he has to do it. And again, not my style. Like, could not be more the opposite of how I would handle it.
Right.
But I just think it's so on brand. It's what I would have predicted. It's what I would have guessed. And it's how this guy does what he does. Like, he is just different.
It's funny you say it's not your style, because it's not my style either. I'm definitely the type, like, if you get a raise at work, I'm using my credit card that night before the money hits. Like, I am not like I enjoy when I have success, and I probably should be a little more like, strict with it. But regardless, the point I would say, though, to push back a little bit on your thing, is the difference, I think, is there are a lot of stories about Tom Brady hanging out with his teammates, like stories of Tom Brady being at a bar and telling the bartender to make sure his shots are water, but he's still there taking shots with his teammates. Tom Brady did put the ring on, for what it's worth. So I just think there's a delicate balance, and we can't ignore the elephant in the room, which is last year, Brandon Graham talked about how Jalen and AJ maybe aren't in the best place, and how they're.
But to be fair, he did blame AJ for that. Like, he said one is trying. Like,
no, that's fair. But the point I'm making more is, I do agree with you that ultimately, if you told me I have to take Jalen how he is or I can change him, I would take him how he is. Because to be Jalen and to be in this spotlight and to have this pressure on you, you have got to be different. You just have to be. Like, I could never handle what Jalen does in the day-to-day life, right? The dedication, the discipline. Like, and when everyone says he's quiet at the podium, yeah, it's because that's just who he is, and it makes him a better quarterback overall. But I also think there should be room for being one of the guys and having fun. And I am worried that we can talk about MJ and Kobe and Tom Brady, but
that's how they were. Not Brady, but MJ and Kobe were that. MJ and Kobe were not one of the guys. Like, eventually, like, people liked them because they were them. But like, MJ was never one of the guys. Like, he would gamble.
But do you think there's a difference between being, and I don't know if there's or not, I've just been thinking about it while I was driving home. Is there a difference between being the head of a basketball team and a quarterback? Because the quarterback example, and there might not
I would
be,
almost
honestly,
think,
but
well,
the quarterback example,
I would almost think the quarterback example is look, I think you need your guys to follow you and believe in you.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to be like one of the guys to be a great quarterback. I just think guys have to follow you, believe in you, and trust you. You know what I mean?
And I do think they do that. Like, I don't think this is a real issue. I think it's probably just something, ultimately, where I'd fall in it, and I think this perfectly sums it up, is his teammates probably just go, well, that's just Jalen being Jalen.
Of course they do.
Like that.
Of course. We all did. We all went, that's Jalen.
Yeah, I don't love the idea. I just don't, of players talking about Jalen and kind of being like,
well,
this guy.
You're inferring that.
No, like, you're right. I'm inferring it. You're right.
Because they know Jalen and they love him. They want a Super Bowl. Like, I'm just saying, it's possible where they go, of course, freaking Jalen, right? Like, hilarious.
But that's not
classic Jalen move. How do we know, though? We have no idea.
But that's not really what we. No, again, I'm using an example.
No idea. But the point how they feel about it.
But you're right. But what we have heard about Jalen and his teammates is that maybe they are not the closest.
Look, I think that he is a driven guy who is very focused and seems like one track minded and all that type of stuff. He doesn't seem like he's a hangout, partied up,
Yeah,
do anything.
but that's where I want your opinion on this. Is like,
I'm okay with it.
But no, but where does the balance have to lie between being the guy that he is and giving 5% sometimes of being
But
one
again,
of the guys?
hold up. You're assuming something here. You're assuming that him not putting his ring on is something that isn't being part of one of the guys. Like, again, those guys might have expected it, might have wanted it, might have like they might have zero problem with him not doing the pictures with that. Like, who cares in reality? Like, I wouldn't care that much. Like, I think you only do that type of stuff if that person annoys you, like, or if that person is doing something that bothers you. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think there's a problem with. They could joke around and be like, "Man, Jalen's weird, huh?" Like, yeah. I don't think that doesn't mean that they're not going to follow him. And
I agree with you.
So like, I think I think it was clear he tried really hard last year to work on those things. Look, I don't think he's a people person. Like, I think Jalen is the kind of person who, if it were up to him, would never have 53 people in his life, much less 53 teammates in his life. You know what I mean? So I think that that's something he's worked on. He's trying to like become more personal and all that. But I think at the end of the day, as long as the guys believe in him, trust him, and look at him as a leader, that's all that matters.
So the last thing I'll say on it, because I want to get to other things, is just like there is a little bit of sadness about it in a way. And I think that with guys like MJ, and we keep using MJ, Kobe, and Tom Brady, but pick whatever great player you want to pick. They're almost like tragic figures in a way because they're so incredibly driven and focused on the next thing. They maybe don't always enjoy the current thing. So as just Elliot, right? Like, if let's say I was best friends with Jalen, or let's say you were Jalen, part of me would be like, come on, like, you know, I feel bad you can't enjoy the ring. It's the Super Bowl ring. So, and I'm sure he did to an extent, but I think ultimately where I fall on it is you're right. To be Jalen, you have to be different, but there are parts of that are kind of sad, just like emotionally, I feel bad for him. And then there are parts of it that are not always positive. And so, yeah, I guess that's where I ultimately fall on it.
Yeah. I think that the not always positive part, I can't go there now. I think like he's had issues. We've talked about something. He did such a great job last year. They won the Super Bowl. All his players seemed to like him. All the mic'd up stuff, they were all into him. Like, I can't really like infer things based on a ring. So I'm not going to go there. I will say I personally, and I had the same thing when AJ said what he said, and I respect him a lot, but I felt bad. I felt bad that AJ
exactly.
In the moment. Yeah. So yes, I think that's part of the price of wanting to be the best of all time. You know, I don't think that these people, to get to that level and to want it again. Like with me, like we always talk, if I won the Super Bowl, I'd be like, well, I got nothing left.
Exactly.
That's I am the friggin' champ.
That's how I would be. Yeah.
So I think that to achieve at that level and to be quarterbacks who win multiple Super Bowls and to be considered the greatest of all time and those type of things, like, you just have to go about your business very differently. I think you have to bring it full circle here. I think you have to keep the main thing always. And I don't think there is anyone better in this city at keeping the main thing, even if sometimes it's not as fun or as jovial or as whatever as we want it to be or we think it should be. Like, that dude is driven and focused. And I think that's a big reason why he is who he is, you know?
Yeah. What's funny is I feel like we ultimately agree. We're just different parts, but I agree. Like, I think he's someone you want running your team. Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, you want Jalen being your quarterback with all of the quirks, you know?
All right, let's get to on the field. How do you look?
I mean, honestly, on the field,
not
there's
much.
not a ton.
There was probably not much. So 14 of 15, it says here on our little screen.
Yeah, so he was 14 of 15, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have his best throw of the day was a pass down the left sideline. And we want to talk about relationships with teammates. AJ said after practice that they have chemistry where he just looked at him. He looked at AJ. They said two things, and that was a result of the pass happening. And
AJ was thinking about Jalen not putting his ring on as he was running out to catch the ball.
I mean, who knows? Maybe later he's flaming him in a group chat. Who knows? But I just, regardless, on the field, it was working out. But that was probably his best throw of the day. He only attempted 2 passes, I would say, that were beyond 20 yards. By the way, Tucker was there. So Tucker look at that. Can validate. But probably only 2 passes beyond 20 yards. One of them was incomplete to AJ, but it was because of pass interference by Quinion. The other one was complete. But it was just a continuation of training camp last year. The streak's at 15. Probably not going to get to 305, but who knows? It was just like good, solid quarterback play. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't, but there was not a single pass he threw that was nearly intercepted. So that's what you want from him.
All right. I think the other biggest news of day one of training camp, and again, long way to go before the season starts. A lot of action and Elliott's point today. I don't think these first couple of days they're going super hard. No pads today, all that. But I think that the biggest news was that Jahad Campbell was on the field and ready to roll like we had. And you in the last few days have been saying that you thought that was going to happen. But look at you. Look at that.
The defense begins.
There you go.
Everyone else was like, maybe he'll be on PUP. Nope.
Yeah.
He's playing week one. He's playing week one.
Now, none of us thought this was going to happen. I mean, right after the draft and the way they talked about it, the knee injury stuff comes out after the shoulder or whatever the vice versa was. We all kind of thought like, like he's not going to be on the field till August. This could be a problem. What changed and, how positive are you about Campbell moving forward now?
Man, I wish I hadn't allowed Howie to change my opinion when he started talking about comparing him to Cooper DeJean and all that. Because if you remember when they drafted him, I told you initially, like, I think he's good to go. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So there's still a long way to go before week one. I think barring a setback, he will be active on week one and he will play. I think Jahad Campbell will be out on the field in week one. Now, how many snaps does he play? We'll see, but it would not surprise me at all. In fact, I would set the over under at 10.5 for snaps for Jahad. Cause I think even if he's not a starter, he'll get out there in certain, like sub situations, certain packages, certain, obvious passing downs, things like that. And it's an important thing for the team because one thing that, and we'll tie two things together here because Cooper DeJean took some snaps at safety today. They have a lot more chess pieces than they did last year. I meant to look this up before the pod. I'll try to look it up, but I would be curious to see how many different combinations of players in the back seven they use because it feels like they didn't really use much. I mean, obviously, until Cooper played, they weren't using Cooper, but once Cooper got out on the field, they weren't switching safeties. They weren't putting different linebackers out. They were mostly just going with their guys. I think when you look at the team this year, Vic Fangio can get more creative. He can put Cooper at safety on one snap and nickel at the other. He can bring Jahad Campbell in and blitz him. He can bring Jahad Campbell in and drop him back. He can bring Campbell in and have him be an edge rusher, have him play true stand-up linebacker. Like it feels like they have a little more versatility. And I also think like Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt are better dropping in coverage than Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham were. They're just better athletes. I'm not saying
they're athletes, yeah.
Exactly. I'm not saying you want them to do it, but Brandon Graham
Jalen Hunt was a safety 3 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Think about that,
Right. Like Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham were not the most agile players in space. They have way more pieces to move around on defense than they do. I think ultimately they're probably not as talented as they were last year, but I think that in a defense where you might have to do a little bit more smoke and mirrors, I think they have the pieces to do that. So Jahad Campbell being out there, it's an obvious great sign. And we have kind of just dismissed his role on the team in a way we don't often do with almost any other first round pick. I mean, me and you talk all the time about first round picks. Like, well, I guess I should say me, like they need to play. They need to be out there. And we haven't viewed Jahad that way, but maybe we should, because when you look at him out there, he's longer than the other linebackers. He's faster than the other linebackers. He just stands out physically. And, he's got to develop. I get all those things, but a first round pick's supposed to play and supposed to be an impact player. I don't care what roster he's going on. It's what they're supposed to do. And I think we'd never even considered it, but being out there today, maybe Jahad Campbell is going to play like 700 snaps this year.
Well, look, from a talent perspective, he should. I mean, he's more no offense to Trotter, Mondin, or any of these other guys. He is the most talented other option at inside
certainly
linebacker.
The best athlete.
Yeah, physically, all that type of stuff. And again, I think the only reason we were kind of unsure was because of the health thing. The way it was, laid out to us, it felt like, and we've seen this so many times with guys who start camp late, rookies, and it takes them a while to get going, to really get on the field and make a difference. So the fact that he's out there day one practicing, especially with Vic, we know how important that is. It's huge. I think it changes the whole perspective on the guy. So I think this could be a massive, massive thing for this team. And look, I think that you look at last year with Cooper and Quinion. I want to get to the Cooper at safety thing a little more in a sec, but Cooper and Quinion, Quinion, I said it all last year, but I think the greatest rookie performance of my lifetime as an Eagles fan. Personally, he's the best rookie I've ever seen, and Cooper's not far behind. Cooper's up there too. Like, that is unfair to expect that. That is all-time unbelievable production from 2 rookie players. Like, you can't expect that. But I do think that John Campbell is the kind of guy where you can, if he's healthy, expect him to come in and contribute. And to your point, I think they're going to need that. I do think that with the losses on defense, where I think, we've talked about it, I think they kept their 4 best players on defense, but they probably lost like 5 of their next 6 or whatever you want to say, or, their next 5 or whatever it is, whatever the number is. I would put Nolan Smith in that group for the next 5. But after that, like, arguably, I mean, you could argue CJ, GJ, and Darius Slay and Josh Sweat and Milton Williams are all better than whoever. Jalen Hunt maybe takes a leap, whatever. But so they did lose guys. I think having the top guys matters a lot, but Jahad Campbell is that type of talented guy who could step in and kind of raise that level, Well,
I think what they lost were playmakers. Like Josh Sweat was a playmaker. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a playmaker. Milton Williams, his nickname was Big Play Slay. And I think Campbell can be a playmaker. The word I keep thinking of when I think of Jahad Campbell this year is disruptor. I think he has an ability to come on the field and mess things up for the offense. I don't know if he's available, or not available. I don't know if he's ready yet to be a really, really good NFL linebacker for 70 snaps in a game. I don't know if he's ready yet to be an edge rusher that can just step in and, get consistent pressure. But I do think he is ready to be someone that can come in and run at the quarterback and just scare him into a bad decision or confuse the quarterback. Like, he comes in and it's like, all right, like, what's this dude doing? Why? Like, he's lined up here and is he going to, like, I just think he can cause disruption, and that can't be his whole career. He has to develop into a guy that can play 70 snaps on defense, really good at one position. But I think for now, he can be a playmaker they've kind of lost with the other people.
Let's get back to the Coop thing at safety. You mentioned he lined up there today. Read the tea leaves, because I thought that we talked about it when it happened, that Vic Fangio answer about playing him at safety was interesting. They haven't added a Justin Simmons. I know a lot of people keep pointing that out. They didn't really add a ton to the safety room this offseason. They didn't add anything, really. It's McCollum and Brown and guys who are already here. Like, read the tea leaves. Where do you think and look, there's time, and we're going to see what happens. Where do you think this Coop safety moving around thing is headed?
So my initial reaction to Cooper at safety is I hate it. He was so good in his role last year that moving him seems unnecessary to me. But where I think it makes sense is, I think what the real answer here is Keeley must be better than they think, or like Keeley must be impressing them, because Cooper at OTAs was on the outside in base, and today when they were in base, they took the safety off the field and put Keeley out there at corner. Now it could also be they don't like what they see from Sidney Brown and Andrew Makuba, right? So that could be it too.
And McCollum.
But McCollum. But what I don't like about it is I want them to do what's best for Cooper. And I understand they need to do what's best for the defense. Like, I definitely get that. But man, Cooper DeJean was such, again, I'll use the word, like a disruptor last year. He can tackle, he can play the run. He's good there. There's a lot of really good slot receivers in the NFL. In fact, you could argue half the great receivers in the NFL are in the slot all the time. And so it's a little bit, I don't want to try to fix what isn't broken. But I also understand that you want Cooper out on the field when they're in base. He can't come off the field as a nickel. Cooper should be out on the field every snap the defense is out on the field. And so then it becomes, where do you put him? And I do have more confidence in Keeley right now. In fact, I'd say considerably more confidence in Keeley than I do in Andrew Makuba and Sidney Brown right now, who split snaps at safety today. So they don't seem to be locked into one of them. So again, I hate the idea of changing Cooper's role because he was so good last year in his role, but you got to put him somewhere because you're not taking him off the field. And I guess safety is probably closer to his skill set than one-on-one coverage on the outside.
See, I'm generally in a similar range with you. I do think that I trust Vic to, know what this kid can do and where he can put him and all that. It's putting a lot on a second-year player, but they put a lot on a first-year player last year, asking him to do what they did too. So he seems smart. He's capable. And I think part of the reason they liked him in the draft is that they felt that he had this versatility to line up inside, outside, potentially at safety and all that. So I do think that, with coverage schemes and all that, football can be positionless in a way, somewhat where it's like safety and quarterback sometimes can have similar responsibilities depending on what the offense is showing. There's a million different, they can kind of, with coverages, Vic can do his thing. So I don't know that it'll be I think that it can work. And I think that ultimately the main thing is keeping Cooper on the field 99, 100%.
Yeah, well, 100% of the snaps.
So whatever that looks like, where the next player who's out there with him, the next man up, is the best option at that position, whether it's Keely at corner or Makuba at safety or whoever. Like, I'm fine with them doing that, but I agree with you. Like, they need to be sure that Cooper can handle it, that it's not going to mess with his development. And that he's going to be good enough at that spot, right away.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, maybe I'm talking out both sides of my mouth a little bit, because I do like the versatility, and the versatility is exciting. It can get creative, but you also want Cooper to do what he's best at. And we all saw last year, I think his skill set fits for inside the box. And obviously as a safety, you can be an in the box safety, so he could be there. It kind of also speaks to them not having certainty at a lot of positions, or not a lot, at two positions, at safety and corner. And, it's like, you don't want Cooper, you kind of just said this, but you don't want him stretched too thin. You still want him to be good at what he's good at. And you don't want to get a less impactful Cooper because you're trying to get him to fill two holes on the defense.
All right, let's get to a couple Georgia guys. We'll stick with Keely for a second and then get to Jordan Davis. Keely, how'd he look? You said there that it seems like that he's coming in when they're in the nickel type situations.
Yeah.
It seems like Adoree Jackson brought
he's
in,
out there in base, to remember, because Cooper's the safety.
Oh,
so
that's what I meant.
yeah.
In base. Yes,
Keely's out there all the time. Now, Adoree Jackson, Adoree did get some snaps today, so he wasn't out there all the time. But it seems like if they had to play a game today and Keely was the corner, he would play all the snaps, and Cooper would potentially be at safety. I didn't think Keely had the best day. I don't think it's like a red flag day or anything. He got beat by AJ deep. He did get beat by Terrace Marshall deep on a throw from McKee. You don't love that. I personally didn't think it was a great throw from McKee, but it still beat Keely, so that wasn't a great snap. But yeah, it got beat deep twice, so not great. But I don't think it's a red flag day for Keely either. But going to practice tomorrow, I'll certainly have my eye on it and see if the snaps equal out to what they were, or if he starts to lose snaps.
All right, Jordan Davis looking slim.
So there was some
part
hot
of the
debate. Yeah, there was some hot debate at practice.
So I wasn't there just off the pictures. Like, I don't think he looked any slimmer than he did in OTAs, but I thought he looked slimmer in OTAs than he had before. So I think overall, compared to last season, he looks pretty slim. But take us inside.
Let's bring Tucker in on this one, because me and Tucker debated this for a while. So I personally, and honestly, I'm not Mr. This guy. Like, I'm not Mr. Every year. This dude's in the best shape of his life. He looks so much slimmer. And I honestly also don't think we should be throwing a party for Jordan Davis, because, like, you've been a professional for 3 years already. But regardless, I think he definitely looks slimmer. And Tucker was hating during practice, saying no.
Oh, Tucky.
But after practice, yeah, he was shamed.
After practice, I changed my. What's crazy, I think it's more of a testament of how large of a human being he is.
Yeah.
Because I saw the photo, I think it was yesterday, right? They showed like the promotional photo. And listen, as someone who tries to hide their gut in photos, like I know you can hide it a little bit, as someone who was on dating apps for most of his 20s, like I've been tricked before. Yeah, like I get it. Trust me. So when I saw him in practice, I thought, well, he doesn't look that slim. Like, he's still that much bigger than everybody else. I don't see what all the fuss is about. And then after we were leaving the trailer that, WIP was in, me and Elliot walked by Jordan Davis, who was, chatting with a couple people off to the side of the field. I didn't recognize him in street clothes. Like, he looked like a basketball player. Like, he looked athletic. He didn't look like a huge defensive tackle for, the first time. And to me, I just think that's a testament to how big he is in general. Like, the fact that he can, on the field still look massive compared to other 300-pound men. But then when you see him off the field and just in normal street clothes, you go, wow, that guy's actually in really good shape.
Yeah, like, I think if Jordan Davis wasn't an NFL player and walked into a bar, we would not consider him overweight. Would you?
No, I thought he looked like a power forward.
Yeah, like I said to someone, I thought he looked like he could be an edge, like a big edge for sure. But
like, he's still long.
Yeah, he looked more like an edge than a nose tackle. Now, it's also funny because, like, if any of us lost 30 pounds, I'd have to go to the hospital. Like, people would be concerned. So, but so we'll see how much he actually lost. I feel like he'll probably talk tomorrow, but he looks skinny.
I think it looks
no
great.
question about it.
I think it looks great. And look, I mean, this is a massive freaking year for Jordan Davis. He got his
biggest year of his life.
This is the biggest year of his life. Like, I guess you could argue maybe is getting drafted, like same deal. But I mean, he has so much potential money on the table based on what he does this season. So the motivation's there. I do think and I think what we saw, I know he didn't play all the snaps in the world, but he did get better as the season went on last year as a pass rusher. He had big plays in the playoffs as a pass rusher. And if nothing else, just compared to prior, like he lasted the whole season. He was playing, he was active in the Super Bowl. Like years before, we'd seen him wear down. We got some get hurt his initial year, all that stuff. So I don't think he's going to turn into, what like the best defensive tackle in football type of thing. When you draft him at 13, you hope he's like a all-time dominant type pass rusher and guy in the middle. But I think he's going to improve this year. I think we're going to see a step forward from Jordan Davis.
Yeah, and as much as I half-jokingly say he's been in the league for 3 years, I'm not going to throw him a party for getting in shape. He is a young dude. It takes time to mature. And ultimately, if he matures into a player that can be an impact player, then yeah, you would have loved if he did it earlier, but that's ultimately all that matters. If at the end of the year, we're talking about Jordan Davis as one of the top 30 defensive tackles in the league, that's an awesome outcome for the Eagles. And he definitely looks skinnier. And, I can just speak for myself. Like, when you look good, you play good. When you look good, you tweet good. When I feel good about myself and my weight and my body, like I perform better at my job. And I'm sure there's got to be a part of Jordan Davis. It's got to feel good to feel skinny and to feel like you're disciplined and you're sticking to something. And I think that has to positively impact him in every area of his life. And hopefully it will in football.
All right. Last one from me. And then, if there's anything else that stood out to you, hit on it. But I feel like we can't do the pod and not ask how Saquon looked, because he's Saquon and he's everything.
He got it. I will say, you know what I will say? The Eagles as a team, this is a weird observation, but I have to say it. They got guys with great teeth. Like AJ, Saquon.
That is such a weird observation.
I'm just letting you know.
All the things that you could have said there. That was really low on my list.
When these dudes smile, like it is glaringly white. And the thing about Saquon,
they have like a team
dude, whoever their dentist
or something.
Is, I got to go see that dentist. I obviously probably don't have the money to pay whatever they're paying for their dental. Yeah. But regardless, like the point I'm making is Saquon just looks like money. Like he steps to the podium. He's got a nice tan going. His smile's looking good. He's talking about rushing for 2,000 yards. He did partake in more of practice than I expected. He touched the ball quite a bit. I didn't get a chance to add it up yet, but my guess is he probably touched it 8 times in maybe 25 first team drills. So he touched it quite a bit. And he looked good, looks in shape as you would expect. He did have a funny answer. He was asked by someone, I forget who it was, why do you think it's hard to rush for 2,000 yards in back-to-back years? In his answer, I feel like he wanted to be like, because guess what, idiot? It's hard to rush for 2,000 yards. like I do think we overlook that a little bit when we talk about how guys fall off the next year. Well, of course they do. It's hard to rush for 2,000 yards. And I think there's a little bit of that with the Super Bowl thing too, where the Eagles could not win the Super Bowl this year, and it could be not because of the hangover. They could be awesome this year and just not win it. I mean, we saw that in 2022. That day they didn't win it. But Saquon looked good. He touched it more than I expected, like I said. So I think a good Saquon day.
It's great. Good to hear. I think that's one of the more fascinating storylines to follow this year. Just how he... the teeth, exactly. Yeah. All right, what else stood out? Any other?
That's kind of it. Like I feel like we hit on all of it. I'm already excited to get down there for day 2. Kristen's on a work trip, so like I literally have nothing to do but wait to go to the Eagles. So
yes,
go to bed
sitting by the door, just looking at it, waiting to open it,
watching all the Phillies games intently. So it's
that was nice when you texted me and Jack and said you're locked in on the Phillies.
Yeah, I knew you would appreciate that. Yeah, I just gotta let you guys know. I'm locked in and ready to
One of my favorite things in life right now is your Phillies text to our thread with you, me and Jack, and just Jack's like just not even
just ignores them.
Just thinking about him picking up his phone, seeing it, like getting furious and throwing his phone back down. I love it so much.
So to be clear, I don't want the Phillies to lose, but it is funny when a saver will blow something, or like a relief pitcher will not, will blow it, and I'll just text and be like, that wasn't great. And I can just picture Jack looking at his phone and being like, oh man, should have hit that.
He gets so mad. It's very funny. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. All right.
Dude, I got so many final thoughts.
Yeah, so we're getting final thoughts. Reminder, Friday, BLG will be in studio with us, the three of us reacting. Real quick, set it up, Elliot. What's the rest of the schedule for the week for the Eagles?
So Thursday they practice at 10 a.m. It will be similar to Wednesday. I'm guessing they'll practice a little longer. And then Friday they don't practice, but again, me, you, and BLG will have a pod recapping the first 2 days.
Awesome. And then obviously just Elliot's favorite time of year.
Dude,
this is awesome.
Excited,
So we'll be back Friday with a pod. No Go Birds radio Saturday. You can blame the Phillies and the Yankees. A bunch of jerks having to play a baseball game at 1:00. I mean, really? Like,
it's all right. I can text you and Jack during it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That'll be worthwhile.
Yeah.
But
they practice Saturday too. So
from what I understand, I believe that is our last Saturday off for a while. So
I think so too.
Other than Tucker's wedding. Shout out to Tucker's wedding.
Well, we got to figure that out because apparently Tucker's wedding doesn't start till 5:30. So regardless, this is too inside baseball.
There he is. Tuck's popping.
Tucker encouraged us to work.
So what if you just do it live from the wedding? Like it doesn't start till 5:30.
Angelina's coming. He can be our engineer. Like I'm in on
it. You have the whole crew there.
I think that'd be sick, especially.
I think it'd be awesome.
In the studio.
I think it would be awesome. I'm down to pitch it. The point is, I'm not doing it in the studio and then driving the 2 hours to his wedding.
That's a good point, dude.
Like an hour 15. First of all,
yeah. The point is, I don't want to I have to be wearing my suit.
Let's see if the venue will sponsor it.
All right, so we're gonna
talk about
that you're in.
It's funny because Tucker's not running this by Mary at all. Like he's just gonna show.
No, I'm worried she's on her way home. I'm worried she's gonna come home.
Yeah, there's a live broadcast in the wedding venue.
The best part would be if you did it and she walks down the aisle and she sees you guys sitting there.
Play it. Oh, here she comes.
Yeah,
up. She looks.
Here she
beautiful.
goes.
It's a very long aisle. It could
Elliot
take a while.
and I doing our Jim Nancy. She looks gorgeous today.
It's like the Masters.
She comes down the aisle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's giving her away. He's giving her away.
He's giving her away.
Yeah, it's great. I can't wait.
Could live broadcast your vows.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
All right. I mean, look, I'm down to try to make it. I'm down to try to make it happen.
I am too.
You talk to Mary, we'll talk to our people and see what we can do.
See, the main takeaway here is you got a lot of us coming up. We're not going anywhere. We're here. We're ready to roll through the Super Bowl. Let's go. All right, let's get to final thoughts.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna hat tip.
Hard to choose, right? Hard to choose.
Dude, it's impossible to choose. There's so many I want to pick.
For a while. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna hat tip Kristen on this because she thought of it and then me and her talked about it. But okay, once I saw this, I would imagine this is somewhat like people who feel like they found Jesus, where all of a sudden you see it and it's like you can't believe you never saw it. It is ridiculous that the Golden State Warriors get to call themselves the Golden State Warriors, and every other team in professional sports is a location, and they just get to make up.
Just to be fair, it is the Golden State is the name.
Correct, but it's not like. It's. I mean, the state is California. To
You're
be
right.
clear,
You're right.
We don't get to call it the Keystone Eagles or the Mountain State, like Golden State.
Are there no other teams that do this?
I don't think there
really
is.
Fascinating.
And also, I get that I think they're in Oakland. So guess what? You're the Oakland Warriors. There isn't their stadium in Oakland. The fact that they call themselves Golden State. Yeah.
Well, I think it's actually in San. It used to be in Oakland. I think they moved to San Francisco.
And here's the next step of this.
You're right. I'm looking through this is all right. As I'm just quickly
it's crazy.
Scrolling
Once you
through
think of it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any others other than athletics, but I don't think that counts because they just don't have a home right now. This is fascinating. Elliot. Yeah. Okay. My initial thought was this is dumb. I don't care. But I'm looking through each of the four major sports.
Only one.
Teams. They're the only one. You're correct. I didn't realize they would be the only one. There are some that have the state. There are some that have the city. But there are no other ones that just have a moniker. I said, right? Okay, you won me over, dude.
It's crazy.
You won me over. I initially was like, nope, dumb, don't like this at all yet. And now I'm fully in. It's crazy. They're the only one.
Dude,
they should be the San Francisco Warriors. You're right.
We were sitting on the couch. She turned to me and said this, and I was like starstruck. I was like, yes.
This is great. Now, Kristen, one of these for you.
Great, right? Now, she did take it
really
a step
good
further.
job.
She took it a step further, which never goes well when you take it a step further. But I thought it was interesting. I do think you should eat so let's take the Charlotte
Hornets
and the Carolina Panthers. Pick one.
Yeah, so that's I
it's
get
a little
it. I mean,
more,
look,
but yeah, like you should both be Carolina.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm less strong on that
less
one. I think
that
the
one,
Golden State one, she should have stopped and then like later down the road brought up the other one. Because the Golden State one is a George Costanza, you walk out.
Yeah,
all right. I'm freaking bringing it today with one of the more ridiculous final thoughts. I'm like, you know what? Like first one back, I'm gonna go for it. So I rewatched Sinners because it was out on HBO Max. I saw it.
I haven't seen it, obviously.
It's the best movie of the year. It just is. Okay. It's so great. I also saw it 28 years later in the theaters over the break, and that movie is beautiful and amazing and scary and awesome. So big shout out to that. But and we know the year-end list. Get ready, it's coming. Yes. In 6 months. But Sinner is the best movie of the year so far for me that I've seen by far. But I watched it for the second time, and as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, and I've thought about this before, and I think I've come around to, like, if there were vampires, I would kind of just be like, yeah, get me. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. Why am I fighting against these vampires? You're offering me eternal life. I live forever. I have powers. Like, yeah, I gotta eat blood. Like, that sucks. But I'm assuming if you're a vampire, like, you like it. It's probably pretty good. Like, yeah, it's a good point. You have to kill people to eat blood these days. Like, I don't get the whole, like, I don't want to be a vampire. Don't get me. Like, you're saying I can live forever? You're saying I could turn my wife and we can live forever together as, like, I just don't think it's, like, as bad a thing as they make it out to be. Being a vampire, not that bad. That's what it is.
So
how about that? How about that?
You sold it well. It was probably similar to my.
We are back, baby.
Yeah. Where at first I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, I don't know all the intricacies of being a vampire, but on its surface, you're right. Like, so I thought your initial take was going to be you're okay with there being vampires in the world, which is kind of what you're saying, and.
No. Very different take. I would prefer there are not vampires in the world. I'm just saying if there has
to be vampires for you to be a vampire.
Well, I'm saying if there were, I would lean towards being one.
Yeah. So are there other downsides I'm not thinking of? I feel like
Well, you're undead.
You
like,
look pretty gross,
does your soul exist anymore? Like, I don't know. There's a bunch of But
I mean, on the surface, they are, again, not a vampire expert, but they are just
young forever.
They are just kind of humans. I mean, they can fly too, right?
They can fly. I got powers. I got strong, and I live forever. Again, I can turn my wife and my kid. They can live forever with me. We can be a family of vampires forever. Like, I don't know.
Now, you kind of have to only be out at night, but whatever.
Right, which sucks. But you know what?
You can adjust. It's really not that different than the day.
It's the difference between day and night for the next 40, 50 years, or every night forever. I'll take it.
And also, frankly, you are basically nocturnal anyway, so it's not like
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm in on it. I mean, it'd be better than being a werewolf.
That's what I'm saying. I never mentioned the moon comes out and you change into a wolf and you control yourself.
Wolf.
Yeah, vampires are kind of classy,
honestly, they dress nice, like Although I'm kind of thinking of Phantom of the Opera. I'll have to look up. What a
Phantom of the Opera, normal human being. But yes,
I'm gonna look up quickly I know what a vampire looks like. But yeah, I mean,
well, there's a bunch of different ones in different movies.
Also, tie it together. Unique looking teeth, not nice like the Eagles, but you certainly, you got the fangs.
A show about teeth. Who saw this coming?
There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm in. I agree.
All right, awesome. I'm really excited. All right, more final thoughts coming Friday because I'm loaded up.
Yeah, I have so many.
I have one where it's like I can't believe that I did not know what this meant until now. One of those ones. It's going to be fun.
Teaser.
There's good stuff coming. So Friday with BLG, I'll make sure BLG has a final thought ready to roll. It's going to be awesome. We're going to react to the next 2 days of practice. Until Friday, Elliot's Twitter account is the number one place to go in the city over the next
always
2 days.
Is, but especially now.
There will be tweets, and of course, check us out on WIP and all that. All right. We'll be back on Friday.
Until then.
He's Elliot, I'm James.